Look, it's no secret that here on the channel, I love Super Mario Odyssey, and I love Cappy so much. I think the mechanic that he brings to the game, allowing Mario to capture any object and enemy, is really freaking cool, and I love trying to put that mechanic in different games and see how it would work. And one thing I've never really tried was putting Cappy in the Luigi's Mansion series. What if Luigi actually had Cappy in order to help him save Mario in all 3 of the Luigi's Mansion games? Well, what would that have looked like, and how would that have worked? Well, let's dive into that. So first off, you might be asking yourself, how would this even work? Because the main point of Luigi's Mansion is to vacuum up the ghosts. So with Cappy, you wouldn't be vacuuming ghosts up now, instead you'd be turning into them. And yeah, that's definitely the case, but maybe there's like an option where you can actually suck up the ghost or turn into it. I don't know, either would be pretty cool. But yeah, let's just say for the sake of this video, we're turning into the ghost, and we have to turn into them in order to do specific puzzles and tasks. And how would that actually work? Well, let me kind of dive into all the different ghosts and talk about how that could actually unfold within the first game. Now let's talk about the regular ghosts, which is probably the least fun part. If Luigi was to actually turn into one of these guys, would it be cool? I don't really know, because in the original game, they all kind of worked the same. They all just kind of came after Luigi and tried to punch him. Now, there were a couple with some variety that would work as a really cool capture. Like, there was one that rolled bowling balls at you down the hallway. Maybe you could turn into him and roll bowling balls in order to blow up certain walls or cracks for secrets in the walls. That would be pretty cool. There's ones that drop down from the ceiling. I don't know how those would work as a capture. I guess maybe you drop down and scare somebody as they're coming down the hallway or something, or scare another ghost in order for them to drop a key. I don't know. You also have some elemental ones with fire and ice hearts, and some that grab Luigi, so maybe you can turn into the grab ghost and actually grab a hold of something or pick up things that the other ghost can't pick up. Or maybe you can be the slammer ghost that kind of just slam on the ground, and maybe you can break heavy things. Or even the garbage can ghost where you can throw banana peels on the ground. But let's get serious and actually talk about the ghosts that would probably be really cool to capture, and those are the portrait ghosts. Neville does absolutely nothing besides rock in a chair, and neither does his wife Lydia, who just sits there and does her hair, so turning into them would be pretty weak. But turning into baby Chauncey, this baby seems to be one of the most powerful in the whole mansion. I mean, you could like shake your rattle. Not seriously though. You could probably throw giant bouncy balls at people, or maybe there's different puzzles where you need to use them. Once again, I'm actually expanding this game. If we're able to capture these ghosts, I'm expecting some of these rooms to be bigger and, you know, grander than the original version, allowing you to do more things. So maybe there's some puzzles revolving around the baby where you have to use the rocking horse, or maybe you have to throw these bouncy balls at specific targets and stuff in order to get a gem. Floating Whirlindas is a guy and a girl, so I don't know how that would work for one capture. Maybe Luigi can capture one of them and dance with the other in order to convince the other to give him a key or something. You also have Shivers the butler, which kind of just walks down the hallway with a candle. Maybe you can light certain torches or something and use his candle as like a fire projectile thing. But Melody would be kind of cool. Imagine if Luigi could capture her and just instantly be good at playing the piano, and you can actually play the piano, and maybe there's like a mini game where you have to play the piano and make the music sheets fly around, or maybe control different instruments around the room. That would be awesome. But what would not be that awesome is Luigi being Mr. Lugs. So I will not be making a picture of this. You can just imagine it in your mind. But I guess he would just eat plates of food. Maybe there's some like eating challenge or something, or maybe he can spit out the fireballs that Mr. Lug can. That would be, I guess, something. You could have Spooky the dog, which could be pretty cool to be a dog, just kind of walking around, and maybe you have to like chase after things in the woods or something. Or maybe they even throw Polterpup in the game. I know he wasn't in the first game, but then maybe you two can like work with each other, or maybe you have to chase him down or something and use like canine senses and like sniff the ground and follow tracks, very similar to using the dark light to find tracks. That'd be kind of cool. Then you have the first major boss of the game being Bogmire, and I kind of saw him as Gooigi a little bit. Maybe having duplicates of yourself all over the stage would be pretty cool, or maybe there's some type of puzzle where you have to put multiple versions of Bogmire down on buttons or something. Very Gooigi-like. Let's face it, Biff Atlas would be pretty cool. To walk around as a giant bodybuilder ghost and maybe be able to break certain things that you couldn't before, just making Luigi super strong and powerful would be pretty cool. And Nana is just a grandma ghost with an obsession with knitting, so I don't really know what they could do with this. Maybe you could throw threading needles or stuff, or shoot lasers out of your eyes like she can for some reason. Or maybe you can just fire yarn balls out for some reason. Miss Petunia literally is just taking a shower when you interrupt her, so she wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to be a cat capture. I don't really know what they could do with that one. But then Slim Bankshot actually is playing pool. So maybe there's a scene where you actually had to play pool against a ghost or something in order to win, and it's actually like a little pool mini game, or maybe you can just shoot billiard balls out at enemies or something. They definitely could do something with this one. I think Henry and Orville would be really cool captures if they kind of added a little toy town type of, map or some type of level where you could pick one or the other in order to fly in the sky with a plane or drive across the city streets in a car, and yeah, just collect things as you're going along, or maybe do little missions and tasks. That would be so cool. Madame Clairvoyant doesn't really do much besides helping you find your lost brother Mario as you turn in his items. So maybe you can turn into her in order to like find secret things that you've missed in the mansion. Maybe she can like look through the crystal ball, or Luigi can as he's captured her, and find like secret ghosts or maybe gems that he may have missed in specific locations that you'd probably need to use her to find. Boo Losses is really just a big boo, so I'm not really sure how a capture of him would work, considering the fact that he's only just appeared at the top of the mansion for one boss fight, and then he splits into multiple mini boos. So yeah, probably wouldn't be a great capture for this game. Uncle Grimly's literally just hiding beside a closet in the wardrobe room when the power goes out, so yeah, that capture wouldn't be a lot of fun. The Clockwork Soldiers could be kind of cool. Maybe you have to turn into one of them, and there's like a whole bunch this time around, and you have to like march in line with them and keep up the beat and do exactly what they're doing with your musket, and you get to like shoot the little cork out, and maybe you get to hit enemies with it and stuff. Could be pretty cool. Sue P is terrifying, and she's already been through enough if you know her backstory, so I don't think I want to capture her. Capturing Jarvis also would be pretty strange, considering the fact that he just kind of switches pots and pops out of different ones in a circle. There's not a lot else that he does. That's really about it. So maybe you can like capture him and have to play hide and seek for one mission and stay away from some other ghost or something. I don't know. Sir Weston could actually be pretty cool, considering the fact that he has tons of ice powers. He can like make icicles fall from the ceiling, shoot tons of icicles that pop out of the ground, and yeah, maybe you can just use his frost powers in order to do certain puzzles, or maybe put out certain fires or something in the room. That could be awesome. Van Gogh has the ability to make paintings and actually bring them to life. So what if there's little mini games where you actually have to paint as Van Gogh, where you get painting abilities and you can actually turn them into real things? I don't know how they could actually make this work, and I feel like they would have to have a limit of what you can create, but that'd be kind of cool if they let you free draw certain things for the game, kind of like Skyward Sword, where on the walls where there were specific things that you could draw, like rupees to get more money, hearts, or maybe even butterflies. Stuff like that would be really cool. Like maybe you can draw hearts, coins, or maybe gems if there were gems in this game and you had to get the gem that way by drawing one and like making it come to life would be so cool. I also realized I probably said the word cool maybe 150 times in this video, so who's counting? I'm sure one of you guys are counting. It's cool. Now I want to wait to talk about the final boss of each game because it's always King Boo, so I want to specifically talk about King Boo at the very end of this video. So we'll be moving on to Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon, or now just Luigi's Mansion 2. Now the regular enemy ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 2 are pretty much the same thing as the first game. They're just a little bit more goofy, but they ideally work the same. There's lots of situations and areas where some of the ghosts will wear like a bucket helmet or carry a sword, so maybe it depends on which type of ghost you capture. Maybe certain ones will be holding a sword or a shield or a bucket or something that you can actually use in the world as a puzzle. Yeah, you got the greenies, which I don't really know what you could do with them besides maybe just like I said, little specific things based on what gear they have. You also have the giant red brutes, which are very heavy hitting, so maybe you can use them to break walls or bust down certain areas that you otherwise couldn't pass through. The pink ghosts spend most of their time being invisible and trying to scare you, so maybe that's exactly what you'll do. You'll actually be invisible and maybe have to scare other ghosts and stuff to drop keys, or maybe grab them to drop a key. And then you have the blue ghosts, which actually hide in different things around the room and throw things. So maybe you can throw projectiles now. You have to hit targets in the background, or maybe hide in specific areas or places in the room. Once again, if you need to hide from another ghost for some mission, for some reason, I don't know. You also have the big yellow ghost that just sits still and spit goop everywhere. So yeah, I don't really know what this would do as a capture. Maybe you have to spit goop on specific areas for something. But yeah, that would be kind of a goofy capture if it was one. You also have those weird purple ghosts that are like puddles of goop, and they don't come out until you start, messing with the puddles. So yeah, how would that work as a capture? I have absolutely no clue. It's just another random weird ghost in the game. Maybe you have to capture specific things inside of you, like maybe there's like bats flying by or certain birds with a key or something, and you have to stretch high or low in order to catch them inside your goop, so that way you can actually get the key. But now let's get into more of the boss style of ghosts, and we have the poltergeist. So there's 2 different types, but you fight them around 3 to 4 different times, including the scare scraper mode. But maybe if you turn into these ghosts, you'll just get very, very smart, which allows you to know certain things. For instance, it'll give you like hints around the room, or you can see tracks as to where something is hidden. Once again, kind of like Madame Clairvoyant, allowing you to find specific gems in the area or things that you may have missed. Or maybe it just allows you to be good at things, like maybe allow you to play the piano or throw books at people. I don't know. You also have the 3 sisters, which is a weird random mini boss of this world, and I don't know what they would do. Maybe each sister has some type of mechanic with her mirror that she can do, or shine certain light in certain areas, or find clues or something. Or maybe you could turn into them to make a better boss fight. Now let's talk about the main bosses of this game. You could just turn into a possessor ghost, which maybe allows you to possess really anything. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe you could just go into certain objects and just turn into them, like a bookshelf or something. That would be crazy. But what if you could actually turn into the bosses, like the giant spider, where you could actually send out baby spiders, or spin webs, or spit goop in certain areas? Or the awesome staircase. Yeah, you could just like hop around and be some stairs. Yeah, this boss sucks. Or you could turn into the clock tower. Once again, these bosses aren't giving me anything to go with, because even Secret Mines boss, the next boss, is just like a sheet of ice. Maybe this could be something. I don't know. You have Big Boo, so maybe you could actually turn into the Boo and ram yourself into the train in order to pop them and then hop out in order to get the ghost. Or maybe you can actually capture the train in order to run into the Boo. Those would work. But you also have the knights from the main boss of the Treacherous Mansion, which it would be cool to have Luigi be this giant knight, and maybe you actually use your sword and shield to block things and to actually slice ghosts. Oh, that would be kind of... Get it? Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying it. What if you could turn into the Big Knight and just stomp and crush an entire mansion? Oh my gosh. That would be sweet. Yeah, you thought I was gonna do it. Psych, it'll be cool. Just like Spooky from the first game, you also have Polterpup, so I guess Luigi as Polterpup would be pretty interesting. It'd be kind of sad that he's taking over like his little buddy, but he wouldn't get him in any danger or anything like that. Maybe he just needs him to get into small spaces, or to jump through walls and to get through certain rooms that he otherwise couldn't, or maybe sniff down a certain ghost or an enemy that he's looking for. Now with Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2 finished, we jump into the new Luigi's Mansion 3, and thankfully we have Portrait Ghost again here, so this makes this a lot easier than the past ones. But of course, we're going to start off by talking about the regular ghost first. There's not much to say here that's different from Luigi's Mansion 2. It's the same type of ghosts that do the same type of things. Your annoying ones like the greenies, but this time they're blue. You have your strong red ones that are built like giant boxes now, and you also have your annoying ones that hide in things and throw things, but instead of blue, they're yellow. Yeah, pretty much the stuff that you're used to. But let's get into the boss portrait ghost of this game, where we have Steward, who literally just chucks luggage at Luigi. What if there was a way you could capture him and actually like help ghosts get to their rooms, but it was like a mission because you had to lead a specific ghost to a specific room in order to get them? That's the only thing I could think of, because I don't think checking luggage is fun. Or maybe you really have to get into a specific ghost room, but they won't let you because you have to be Chambria in order to go in and actually act like you're cleaning the room in order to look for clues and actually maybe even get that ghost that's hiding in his room. Or maybe you get to guard the shops as Crueler and actually get to use a water gun in order to spray pests away from a specific thing, maybe like a little tower defense where you have to defend the office from bugs, pests, or other ghosts by just shooting them with water. Maybe there's a bunch of ghosts dining in, you have to be Chef Souffle in order to cook a dish in order to make the ghost appreciative. Maybe there's some type of like ghost judge out there, and if you do well, you actually get to then jump out and start fighting that ghost judge or capture him, which would be pretty cool. Just like Melody from the first game, maybe you could capture Amadeus Wolfgeist and maybe even possess your own piano and use it all Mario 64 style and start chomping other ghosts or other pieces of the room and breaking it apart. That would be insane. You could be King McFrights and actually like possess the suit of armor, and then you can actually really be a knight, and you could have a giant lance and a shield. Would be pretty awesome, and you could actually ride around on a horse or whatever that little ghost horse thing he's riding around on, and you could stab things, or maybe you have to take on tons of ghost themed like gladiator challenges like ghost lions or ghost chariots coming after you. You could be Dr. Potter, or maybe you walk around with a potted fly trap and you have to use it to bite certain things or take out certain doors or areas in order to progress further. Or maybe you could be Morty, where you actually have to direct a whole film and maybe have to do certain things and maybe make your film your way, where everybody playing this game might have a different film based on how you direct it or where you put the pieces at. That'd be pretty awesome. Also have the polar kitty, which looks like a normal cat until it rages and turns into this giant freak of nature monster cat, and maybe that's exactly what you could do. You could just walk around and maybe in certain instances get really angry and start tearing up the scene or breaking certain things in the area. Look, we've already seen Mario as a T-Rex, so would it be absolutely bizarre to see Luigi as a skeletal remains of a T-Rex? Absolutely not. I think they'd be the same thing, kind of just walking around the area and smashing everything within the museum, or maybe even capturing Ugg himself, where you can just walk around with your giant skeletal bone and just smash things with it. What about Clem? Honestly, I have absolutely no clue. Maybe you have the ability to fix things, so you can go to certain machines and fix them, or throw wrenches at people. I don't know. He's just like a strange ghost, and you pretty much do the same thing he's doing to fight him. You jump in a river raft, and you fight each other on the water. So yeah, maybe you just play mechanic as him, and kind of just fix things around the room that's broken. Now, I can't lie, Serpsy would be awesome, because she has the ability to actually possess the sand itself, and create all these different crazy contraptions, like sand snakes and a giant sand head. So what if you could actually do the same? You could actually do like 3 different forms in the sand to allow you to do different things within the level. Maybe you had to build like sand stairs or something to get up to an area, or just kind of build just random sand things. I don't know, maybe there's something they could think of, or a giant sand Luigi head for something. It would just be so cool to possess the sand and just kind of create whatever you wanted. You then have the 3 magic sisters, so maybe Luigi gets his own like little top hat that he can actually bring things out of it, random items, or you can throw cards at the wall and kind of stick to the wall and do certain things with them. I don't know, or use your magic wand to do some magic tricks. That would be okay. Fishhook was pretty cool as a giant ghost shark, so maybe you can turn into him and actually swim through the waters and see tons of underwater ghost creatures as well. Or maybe you could possess the pirate ship like he does and make it a giant Luigi themed pirate ship or something, and you can actually drive it around the ocean. Johnny Deepin is kind of the same thing as Biff Atlas, but this time he's just in a pool throwing volleyballs, so maybe you can actually chuck volleyballs as well, or maybe swim in a pool. I don't really know what else. He's a pretty simple and easy boss to beat, so there's not a whole lot to him. DJ Phantasmagoria is really just DJ, so maybe you can play some beats, or there's some type of rhythm minigame you can play as her, or maybe you have to throw disc at things like she throws her disc at you, or maybe you capture one of the ghosts and you actually have to perform like a background dancer before you can even fight DJ Phantasmagoria. So you're kind of like blending into the other ghost, and you have to hit the right dance moves as them. I would love to see Luigi do these dances. And of course we have Helen Gravely, one of the main antagonists of this game. So what would you do by turning into her? I absolutely have no clue, because she doesn't really do much. Most of the entire battle, she just kind of hides behind some screens and causes tons of security things to go off and try to attack Luigi with lasers. And the only real attack that she'll do is try to hit him with her mirror, so I really don't know what this boss battle could consist of. Maybe you have to control the cameras of the facility or the cameras of the mansion itself. I don't really know. Now, I try to figure out how turning into the main antagonist would actually work, because you'd be like, who do you fight? I don't know if you'd fight like an onslaught of other ghosts or another antagonist like Helen Gravely, and I really couldn't come down to one single way. And the only thing I could think of is maybe like an end of Mario Odyssey situation where you actually have to turn into King Boo to escape a breaking mansion or something, and you have to go back through the mansion all the way back down to the bottom. Like, for instance, in Luigi's Mansion 1, you'd have to make your way all the way back outside, but the mansion is falling and breaking, and you have to actually use the giant robot Bowser suit in order to break your way through and then fly down to the bottom with King Boo. Something like that could work. Or in Mansion 2, maybe you're outside in Evershade Valley as King Boo and you have to fight some type of giant ghost or monster, or maybe all the mansions get possessed and turn into one giant mansion, and you have to use King Boo in order to fight them. That would be insane. Where you could spit spike balls at it or use your gem in order to strike it with lightning and just make other things appear and make things happen as King Boo. I don't know, he can do a lot of stuff with that gem. Or Luigi's Mansion 3 would be a really great example, where maybe you need to turn into King Boo in order to make your way all the way back down to the bottom of the mansion without taking damage from the falling debris and stuff, and you get to use his giant tongue in order to break down doors and walls, and you have to make your way all the way back down, which would be awesome. Now, I do kind of want to make another video about this because I think this mechanic would actually be really cool, but in a different way. Like if Luigi actually for some reason turned into a ghost. And we've seen kind of something like this with the Simon and Richter Belmont reveal trailer for Smash Ultimate, where Luigi actually got stabbed by Scythe and turned into a ghost. So I would kind of love to see something like that, and maybe he does get ghost properties and stuff, kind of like Cappy, where he can possess different ghosts or maybe possess different things within the mansion, but still has his vacuum and stuff for the basic gameplay. But yeah, that's for another video. I don't want to get too deep into that, but definitely let me know what you thought about this video. Would you love to see Cappy make an appearance in Luigi's Mansion? And what capture do you think would be the best, and what do you think would be the worst? Or if you want to add to some of the things that I've already talked about, feel free to do so. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you want more stuff like this, leave a like and subscribe. Let's see how many people we can get to subscribe from this one video. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys. Oh, and I forgot about the best capture in the entire series. Elgad.